All right, everybody. It's 9 o'clock.
Just about here.
Oh,
I think you did.
well, okay, good. I don't know that we can go by minutes here.
I know. Just
Yeah, lots of people look like they're still on their way, but we are at 9 o'clock. It'll give us a bit to get started anyway.
I do not have one.
I do. Trick is always finding which one is it. I think it's this one. All right, guys. Well, welcome again to the Fern Acres November board meeting. As a reminder, this will be our last one for the year, as we do not hold it in the third Saturday of December. Start off with excused absences. I'm looking here. I don't see Roy, though we heard he's okay. So he's here. I think is that everybody? A lot of extra faces, so I'm picking through.
I'm looking. This is all about.
Gonna stack your chairs up. You guys need chairs out there. And there's one more in here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we got a lot of new faces.
Don't
Generally,
forget to sign in.
participation.
Sign in. Clipboard right here.
Pass the board up there.
Joe, do you want to pass the clipboard out?
Okay, all the board members, you guys have the minutes in front of you, and hopefully you've had a chance to go through them.
I move we approve the minutes.
I'll second. All right, all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got them at 6. All right, we have them at 7. Great, we have it. Thank you. All right, as we often and always start these meetings, we have lots of people visiting today. That's awesome. And so we do allow for time for, this is where anybody could bring up anything they want to make sure gets talked about today in this meeting. Okay, we do have a limit of 2 minutes per person, but so if, and this is your time to speak to the board and us to add, for them to make motions and add whatever you talk about to the board meeting if we'd like to discuss it today. So please, who would like to go first, if anybody? Yes.
Hi, Layla, Audit Committee. Thank you guys for being here today. I'm glad I made it on time. There's a couple of things. One, the number one being the proposed road fee increase that you guys voted on for the last board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to discuss that. There is the emergency plan contact network that I emailed you guys about that I would like to discuss, as well as the status of a camera to help record these meetings, because not everyone can show up every time, including the board members. So we're wanting to know is the status. I know that I sent you guys a camera option, the cost of that, and it was approved, but I just need to know what the process is of getting that and setting it up.
Okay.
And then the emergency plan contact network, I made an online sign-up form, and I put that out into both of the Facebook groups that are pretty popular here, and also would like to get a physical sign-in form to be put here at the office, as well as for events and things like that. So I just wanted to make sure I'm aligned with the board on doing that and trying to collect that information so that we can start our emergency contact plan and network. And then the very first topic I brought up is the road fee increase, which I know I've emailed you guys a couple of times about. The fact that it was voted on without the road chairman was a big red flag, and as well as that it was passed due to this law that was just passed, the Bill 38, because according to the bylaws, I have it written down, the section of it exactly, the vote should be really based on finances that are needed for road maintenance, not for tax breaks and things like that. So just the basis of that road increase, I would, if it was truly based on financial needs.
Layla, your time has expired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted an explanation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
We had a community members meeting, and a gentleman who owns property in this division asked for a an ability to fund a key code for the gate in the back, connecting Hawaiian Acres. He wanted to make some financial deposit towards that, and we said that we would share his message at this board meeting. The road meeting, it was concluded we might try to invite him to a discussion and to find out some ideas of how that looks and how that works. And that's all.
Okay. Awesome. We have plenty of time. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Board members, was there anything in that you would like to make sure we get added to our agenda today?
All those topics.
All those topics? Okay. So you make a motion to add whatever all those
Yeah,
topics
the
were. What
emergency-
about the
gate
Okay.
and the emergency and the road discussion is already on the agenda.
Yeah, the road discussion is already on the agenda, correct. So the other two, want to make sure you get added on. Do I have a second for that? Okay, Rug. All in favor of adding those to the agenda today? Okay, looks like we'll discuss them then. And let me find the appropriate place to jam those in here. So I think the one about the back gate we'll do under the road committee. Making a note right now. And then as far as the
We can put that insert and hub.
certain hub, I agree, because that's where it originated from, actually. Contact list. Okay, great, those are in there. Okay, if there's nothing else in the residence, last call. We have spots throughout that you guys can certainly join the conversation, but right now, we will move on then. Okay, go to treasurer.
All right, Mr. Bob, beginning balance, $134,403.66. Additions, $12,022.20. Subtractions, $24,007.54. Ending balance was $122,418. FACA, beginning and ending balance, $4,137.14. The business money market began at $30,513.97 with an addition of 52 cents, ending in $30,514.49. Petty cash card, beginning balance was $755.25, addition of 2,000, subtraction of 1,234.95, ending balance of $1,540.30.
Thank you so much.
Okey-dokey. Any questions for the treasurer?
I get one.
Yeah.
So, how you guys keeping track of how many people actually paying their road maintenance fees here in the acres?
It's in the office on the computer under QuickBooks.
Can we, is it public review that we can see the record and stuff?
No.
Nothing that is personal.
But you can find out how many people you get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
raw numbers,
I
sure.
know we don't need
No.
to, but I just want to figure that out. Ask that
Okay.
question.
Yeah, we just don't want people's names out there, yeah. Okay. Awesome, any other questions for treasurer?
Yes, on the spreadsheet for FACA and Mr. Ma on January and February, there's some items that don't tally up to the total. On FACA, the payroll expenses are in a difference of $600 for January and a difference of $300 for February. On Mr. Ma, the payroll expenses are in a difference of like $8,000 and $10,000. The items there just don't show something else that must be tallying up, and it's I'd like to have that explained.
This is the first
There's
time
two
hearing
line
about
items
it.
that's missing from that spreadsheet. It has to do with office or bureau. That's not added on, that didn't get added on to the spreadsheet.
Okay. I gotta look to the treasurer to look into it.
Just submit it so that I can check it out. Like I said, this is the first time hearing of it.
Okay,
I just wanted to add then, I think this is just an example of how difficult this job can be, and if our road fees stay increased, this should be great justification for a third-party financial assistant.
They'll have to be at the opinion of other residents being that it's not cheap to do something like that, so we would have to look into them, ask the residents what they feel about it. And then make a decision
unfortunately, that's how it is with everything, yeah. So, anybody else have anything they'd like to ask the treasurer? Any questions? Okay. Then I'd accept a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I move that we accept the treasurer's report subject to audit.
Okay, as always. And thank you. And do I have a second on that? Yes, Roy? Okay. All in favor? Okay, it carries. All right, Audit Committee. Who leads that right now?
Okay.
What?
Actually, the audit
It's Joe.
committee.
Oh, it's Joe. I was gonna say, wait a minute.
We had a meeting.
Actually, this is the only legal member right
I'm
here.
the only legal audit member. We don't have anybody else that can do it with
We
me.
do need one more community member who
One
was
or
current
two.
on their road dues. That's the only qualification.
Right now, we have it scheduled for the 12th of December at 4 in the afternoon, if I remember correctly. All the information has been given to Maria so she can collect the data and provide it to whomever is going to be at the audit.
I'll volunteer for that.
Oh, okay.
I'm a resident
Uh-huh.
in standing with
Good,
road
good.
fees and
Awesome.
water dues.
So if we could note that, you
Can you
have
mark
her
the
in the
time?
email.
Yeah, that's December 12th at 4 right here.
Okay.
All right, and hold on just a second. And anything else from the board for the audit committee? Okay,
I was gonna volunteer as well,
okay.
but I have some questions about what it is we're gonna be looking at.
We're going to be looking at FACA. Okay, we
On March,
according to bylaws, we've got to hire people from Mr. Moss.
I have one copy. Does anybody else have a copy? So give one to Patty, one to Layla, if anybody has the internal audit.
And we chose March, June, and August.
March, June, August.
Does anybody else have a copy so that both Layla and Patty can?
Of what, policy?
The internal audit.
The
internal
Yes, I
audit.
got the, I
Internal
got it in
audit.
policy, hold on.
So
I'll
there's
print
one to
more.
Layla,
Here's
one
a
to
copy, it's a
Layla.
little dog ears, but who didn't get one? Patty?
One for Layla and one for Patty.
Thank you so
I
much.
only have that one, so.
I can just take a photo of it and give it to Patty.
Okay.
Okay. And Ben?
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm excited to hear about an audit. I'm interested to understand why Mr. Ma isn't allowed to be audited by the people who pay for it when Mr. Ma is like 90% of the budget. So FACA is 10% of our budget that we're going to be auditing.
Patty?
The reason that Mr. Ma is not audited by us is it is required by the bylaws to be done by a third party annually.
Does that mean that that turns in as something measurable, but to say we still can't look at it?
Every year we do the 990, it's available online, and that is mostly Mr. Ma. So you can see all the data there.
Also, Mr. Ma includes the personal identifiable information, which by policy we do not reveal to the public.
And it should be possible to make it visible in some form, right? I mean, we make spreadsheets.
We could
so-
say 99 people paid road dues, but identifying it by property number or name would be a disclosure of people's personal financial information.
Sure.
So I'm curious for something, and not necessarily to this board, but because we haven't had this many people come out to a board meeting in a bit. Should we continue, and this would have to go out to the committee, which is why I'm asking you guys, should we continue to pay an outside auditor to do these things for us? Or is this something that you guys, we could get 2 volunteers every half a year to come in and help us do the audit independently? In other words, from you guys. Because we pay somebody, and what did we pay last time? $41,000, okay? That's a lot of payment. But, Ben?
We paid that much money because our documents weren't in order and the audit was delayed.
It would have been $24,000 if things would have been perfect.
So half, great. So I think that shows that we need some support to get up to a normal, regular paperwork in order, like situation.
Yeah, so I saw Patty's hand up in the back first.
the answer, my answer to your question is yes, we're capable.
Okay. And then I think Roy was next. Then I'll go to Patty over here while you work.
Patty Goodwin and I did the 990 with the accumulated financial records from the bookkeeper who was our previous bookkeeper, and that's why our books were not in order. It's really important to observe that the lack of proper paperwork is not due to our current bookkeeper.
Okay. Right, all right, you got it?
Yeah, just adding on to what she's saying, a whole lot of things been messed up for years, decades on end. And as we came into the office, we found a lot of stuff. We're still finding stuff. We're trying to get all the paperwork in order, which is why we called for that audit. We ended up paying $41,000 because, like Patty said, our paperwork wasn't in order. And we just getting to the point where we're getting up to the point where it's almost there, you know, but it doesn't, it takes a few years to get it down to where it's supposed to be, so.
Sure.
You know.
And we're not making a decision on audits that we continue to pay someone $25,000 to $40,000 for, or if we are gonna do it internally. We're not ready for that yet, but I was curious to see what a little bit of a litmus test with
Well,
others.
our bylaws say it has to be an external qualified
That's
financial
correct.
professional.
But by vote of
Financial professional.
enough of these guys, we can change that. So, yes, I see a hand in the back up there.
If the paperwork hasn't been in order for years, it seems like it makes sense to get a third party, just for clarity, dealing with that amount of money, so the community feels like our money is being spent properly. Because if there's been so many errors in the past, how is anyone here qualified to continue doing it?
Our bookkeeper is, she got a degree in accounting, so she's working on getting stuff that, like I said, decades on end of not being in order, putting it in order, so.
Yeah,
If we can trust the process and let them, you know, follow through a little bit, then we should be able to get it.
So thank you, Ryan. I think it's important that we understand there's kind of like, if you want to draw this line that happened, okay, where prior to that line, frankly, we had some problems, big problems, okay? We've been pretty verbal about it.
When Mary May was here, our books were in order. We had a gap of about 2.5 years where we had unreliable financial assistance.
So for about 2.5 years, we did not have reliable financial assistance, okay? That is where we'll call it dark ages occurred, okay? And so after that 2.5 years, we paid the big money to have somebody go through it, kind of hit the reset button on those books, and that's where our current bookkeeper is taking from that line onward. We already identified how bad it was during those 2.5 years. We've been open about it, shared with anybody, you know, and frankly pointed fingers where it needed to be pointed. But we can't do anything about that now, so we've taken that line, and that's where we're working from, and we're confident from that point onward. What Roy's trying to say is, even after that, where we saw the mess and what we had to clean up, they're just about to the point that we can now handle it and do it more cheaply, more on the $25,000 end than on the $40,000 end. I hope that answered some question. And do you want to say something, Christy?
So if we know a professional bookkeeper that is a resident in our community and wants to join a few of the others, is that something that can be achievable? I mean, if she's a licensed bookkeeper, but she's willing to come do an audit with a few other members.
So current bylaws, I believe, state it has to be a CPA. Okay, so if she's a licensed CPA, then I'm all for it. Yeah, let's have a conversation.
Okay.
But otherwise, we end up back in Hilo and paying big bucks.
Okay. So are we willing to consider a professional for one more year and then go to a more of a resident type audit? Or I mean, can we put that on a January agenda that we talk about it again?
Yeah, let's look at all the things that we have to redact because of people's financial information being available to the community members.
And then the bylaw revision, which is a complete vote.
Yeah, that's where I try to get as many people together, usually something like the picnic, and gonna be in the newsletter prior, to let everybody know, hey, we're looking at a bylaw revision so we can do this. Because if the majority of the response that we get back says, oh, we don't feel comfortable with that, well, now we're back to spending bigger money. Ben?
Why is the interest for an either or situation, and why not just have it to where we keep our normal bylaws and have the third party, plus people are now involved as well, and be excited about people wanting to help?
Well, I think two reasons I believe for that. Okay, one is if we're paying a professional, then to have us come in and say the professional, we believe because we see some professionals wrong. I don't know if that's going to work real good, you know. And I think if we're paying somebody and they've got the insurance and the licensing to back up their work for us, we don't, in addition, then want to question it with us coming in. I believe.
I feel like that's an absolute opportunity for us to get calibrated against a professional, and maybe we are the ones who should find what the professional found. Plus, we don't get a CPA audit every single year. The last one we had was the year after our dark ages. So our dark ages weren't even audited. We had one audit after that dark ages, and we haven't had an audit since.
Okay.
So our financial obligation to it, you're saying is so expensive, we're not doing every year. And we have 2 months of this year that shows over a $15,000 difference in the spreadsheet. So it's just that, I don't think we could give it enough. I think we could give it a lot more effort.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of hands that went up real quick. Patty?
There are levels of audit, and what we have proposed is to do an audit every 5 years, a certified review in the intervening 4 years, which is much less money and examines about 50% less than the audit does.
Okay, and then I saw Hank.
Also, professional auditors are obligated to keep privacy, personal information private. A resident committee is not obligated to keep information private, and I would be against having my private information broadcast to the community. And I'm sure there's more people in here, in this association, in this subdivision, that would not want to see their financial obligations be broadcast to everyone in the subdivision.
I agree.
Hey, Roy?
And I get that we like pay it cheaper, but the reason why you do an external audit is somebody that has nothing to do with this subdivision at all. But then they can be professional about it. They can keep the privacy of everybody. But once you get somebody from India, I don't care who you are, you can get the thought of opening your mouth to somebody. And once you open your mouth to somebody, now everybody gonna know your business. So that's the reason why we do an external audit. Somebody who has nothing to do with our finances, nothing to do with our subdivision, that can do them in the most professional way without leaking information.
And that takes care of the third-party audit.
So Patty mentioned that she and I did the 990 a couple years ago. We did it from financial papers that had no private information on it. So I don't see this discussion happening at all, because what we need is an overall view. We don't need anybody's private information, nor were we provided with anyone to the 990. If we can do a 990 without that, we can do an audit without that. So I don't think that's valid at all, because the community can look at paperwork just like anybody else, and there's nothing on there that has any private information.
Oh, okay, Christy?
Maybe I'm dumb when it comes to an audit, but if I handed my checkbook to somebody and they can see what comes in and they can see what goes out, I mean, what are they gonna see? I spent too much money at Walmart? I mean, there's no personal information when you're looking at something like that, so I don't understand where nobody can see it because there's personal information.
Okay, and hold on, I saw another hand back here. Was it you again, right? Yes.
Yeah, although Patty didn't do the audit, the year after we had to redo that audit. We had to redo that 990 to do the current 990 just to fix them up because the information was wrong.
And
The way it was done,
wrong because the year before
the way it was done was wrong. So we ended up having to redo them just in order to do the following year's 990. So
Pam?
Yeah, when we did the 990, you were working with end of the month financial statements, and they would not balance from one month to the next, so it was very, very difficult. But one of the things that we run into with numbers not balancing, never has to do with whether or not Joe Smith paid his property road dues. It has to do with, oh my God, that truck was not depreciated in the right category, and we have to go back and do that. Oh my God, the transfer of this percentage was wrong in that year, and now we have to go back and adjust for that. And it's never anything about people's paying or not paying their road fees.
Okay. Well, guys, I don't think it sounds to me, unless the board is prepared to make some motion out of all this conversation, sounds to me like we probably aren't ready to act on any of this other than to take in this information. Does anyone have a motion otherwise? Okay. All right, everybody, thank you. That was good. I think we got an idea of some of this. As a reminder, where we're currently at is every 5 years for the big audit. In the intervening years, sadly, still spending way too much money to have somebody look at it. I'd rather have our residents look at it, but that's not the bylaws. Okay. Do we have enough interest to look at a bylaw change? Now, I'm going to return back to that question. Do we have enough interest to look at a bylaw change to have resident audits happen in those intervening 4 years instead? Okay, if not, that's great.
I think we should have it on January's agenda, that we look at starting something that can be like every other year, a resident audit.
Okay, we can certainly carry that conversation if she'll get it in the minutes. I know you're typing furiously.
I'm going as fast as I'm in
And you're missing a
so
finger.
sorry, yes.
Okay.
Policy committee members, let's look at the bylaws and bring forward all of the language that has to do with our financial management so that we can be informed in our January discussion.
Okay, so then we call that referring to committee. Can I get a motion to refer that to the policy committee? Okay, second? Okay, Hank? All right, all in favor? Okay, 3, 4, 5, we have enough, okay. So, we're sending that over to policy committee. Just a second, okay.
Was that, I don't understand what just happened. Was that just to add the community audits between the real 5-year audit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was.
To have a formal discussion in January and starting that committee.
Okay. Thank you.
The reason that we need to do that is if we change what we're doing, it's gonna have to be in policy and in the bylaws, and
Yeah.
it's a mess, but we'll get through it.
The last thing I wanted to say was this: I don't feel we should ever feel that a third-party audit is too expensive or a waste of money. I think it's what needs to happen, how it's calibrated. I think it should never be explained that it's a waste of money.
Well, yeah, let's just say a road committee, I'd rather see it on the roads instead of on the reams of paper. That's if you think that's a waste, then okay, maybe it was, but I understand we're trying to do a careful balance between paying big money and getting as much as we can on the roads, So. Oh, yes, back there.
I want to say I agree with him, that I think a private audit is necessary, because so far I've heard 4 or 5 people in here disagreeing about if write-offs are being done properly on our taxes, and are these numbers accurate? You hear this go on, what's actually trustworthy? Who knows what they're actually doing here financially?
Well, I think our bookkeeper probably knows what we're doing financially, I believe, and so that's who I check with and find that information. Again, Ben?
Yeah, we used to have 2 bookkeepers, and they would help audit each
No,
other.
only one ever. No. Only one ever.
I don't understand that.
Office manager was the other one, bookkeeper was those are the 2 positions.
So as of this time, I had a story from Roy that said they're not allowing the board in there so it doesn't get messed up or something.
No, we just working with the books, and like nobody coming in and demanding stuff that they've done in the past, without board approval.
Okay, so I think we have several angles now coming in, okay? Which is outside of this, we're starting to wander outside of our motion, okay? But
I just wanted to comment on you saying you trust the bookkeeper, but the bookkeeper has nobody helping her make sure she's right. And we see it in January and February of this spreadsheet as an example.
perhaps, you brought up something, and you might absolutely be right, and we may have an explanation for it we don't know yet. Okay, you brought up a concern we don't have any more information to go up other than your concern.
That's a big job, it's a lot of work.
Sure,
Don't need
sure.
help, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, before we can validate that much further, we need to find out what's going on, on that piece. But yeah, I don't think anywhere in here we said we aren't doing them anymore. I wanted to present to you guys options, okay? Not to say we don't want to do them. All right, I'd rather, but when you guys spend your money every year on roads, I think you guys thought you were getting it on the roads and not on an audit, okay? That's where if the audit is, which it is at times, we're saying right now every 5 years to look back at the prior 4, is necessary to make sure all that is safe, we're doing it, Another hand, yes.
The audit is necessary to make sure our money does go to the rules, not even walking.
That's correct.
That's what the audit is for.
And it's because of what we've done that caught that one that we talked about already and disclosed to you guys again. That, it's because of those both internal audits and then again the external one that we paid for that confirmed it, that was ever caught and handled. So, thank you everybody. I think we need to move on because I think we have bigger topics yet to cover. All right, Road Committee. And so on this one, we got a few pieces. So usually I just have Roy start us off, but there's a lot to cover today, so I want to cover it in pieces. The first one I want to talk about and bring up to you guys is that back gate that keeps coming up. Boy, that back gate not going away, And so what is, one more time, if, Ben, you're the one that brought it up. If you could explain to everybody what you're talking about for the back gate today.
I don't know everything, obviously. I'm
Sure.
just sharing information. But the gentleman's name is James, who I understand his grandmother lives on the property, and they live really close to the gate. They've had strifes over access to family members for a long time. And we've had, if I could do, the gate's such a big thing, but if anybody can help, the stories are, we've had paid locks, we've had fire access, shared keys, we've had vandalism on the locks, and we've spent a lot of money repairing the gates. We've chosen to put rocks in front of the gate and permanent, non-financially cost the gate anymore. And this gentleman is really disgruntled about it, and
He has been.
I've really tried to get some mediator action if I could, and I came up with an idea, because he threw out he would financially support an electronic key code for the gate, and I kind of agreed with that idea because the code could be changed, possibly remotely, and that he said he would financially support it. I said you could run a financial run to help support that yourself. Roy suggested, I'll maybe let him speak for him, but ideas came up that he would be a quick point of contact for a fire. He could maintain the gate under his own accord. He could stand to our agreement that if the gate was becoming left open, it would probably be locked permanently again. And we were thinking about inviting him to a discussion to see if this was something that could be maintained responsibly.
So as a reminder, James Madrigal lives in HPP, okay?
They live in Hawaiian Acres.
I said the wrong H, sorry. Hawaiian Acres, not HPP, HPP a little further down. And so, as a reminder, he's not even our resident, but we would give him control of our gate, okay? So that right there already wrinkled, but go ahead, Roy.
So basically what it is, he lives on the other side of the gate, on the Hawaiian Acres side. His mom lives at Pope 32 on Plumeria.
So nowhere close to the gate.
So it's nowhere close to the gate, but he utilizes that gate so that his kids can catch the bus at the corner of Anthurium and Plumeria. So what we did discuss in that meeting is that we would talk about it in the road committee about considerations about the gate. But we never get to that point yet because there's so much information that we need to gather and we need to confer with the board and the committee before we make a decision on that back gate.
So a couple of questions, Roy, real quick that you could answer for everybody. I think we have some people here that may not even realize what's going on with this gate. A couple of questions. Is there a way for those kids to come through safely and catch our bus up here in Fern Acres now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When we put the rocks in front, we got complaints from This is magical about the back gate. I took her by her hand, I showed her on the right side of the gate, we made a path that is wide enough for everybody to walk around. But yet prevent ATVs, Polarises from coming over to our subdivision, blazing them up and down Antirium and all our streets, which I'm getting complaints by a lot of people that live right there near the gate and on Antirium and Plumeria.
And just so you guys know, for those of you who don't know, Roy is our road committee chair. Okay, and he's going to take some time in a little bit here. Another question, Roy.
Yep.
Who owns the land on each side of the gate?
So where the gate stands is the end of our subdivision.
Okay.
On the other side of the gate is a private owner that owns a lot on Hawaiian Acres side of the gate. So technically, it's not supposed to even be a road, but the homeowner or the property owner on the opposite side of the gate said he didn't care if people wanted to drive back and forth through his property to get to Fern Acres.
So do we have the authority to utilize, I mean, I'm not talking we have the ability, but do we have the authority to utilize his lot and make it a road?
Not make them a road, but in the event of an emergency, people do it about.
a
problem. Whoever got a problem with us going through
Kind
there
of.
to save our community. But it's been a road for years on end. You know, so like everybody calls it a road, but it's not really a road. But
So if we open it up, what does our community gain?
if we open them up, or we make access through there, we gain a second way out of our subdivision, which a lot of people are complaining about based on fire hazards. So
Okay.
that would be a plus
Everybody
side
in
to
Hawaiian
opening the
Acres
gate,
using
but
Plumeria.
the bad side about that gate is that a lot of things happening through that gate.
Okay, thank you, Roy. I got a bunch of comments now. Go ahead, sir.
I definitely, so, in order for that access rate, we need that homeowner to give an actually written consent for us to utilize that.
Technically, yeah, if they do the right way.
And the
Yeah.
second thing I would say is, shoot, we live with, you guys see what happened to the bridge at Oakland Island? If this bridge radio failed, we definitely did. I mean, I've been in the military for so long that I can tell you, one way in is not.
So real quickly, because you guys may not realize this, sorry, I'm going to add to your bridge comment. The county has approved and are putting in another road that's going to go up this direction and then take us out to the highway.
Okay, at least something.
Yeah, no, I just want you to know we aren't entirely lost, thankfully.
All right, 4 months enough.
No, that's okay. I just wanted you to have that information. Okay, Brian?
I know my view on the gate is in contrast to the board's view on the gate. I'll start with that. I am in favor of the gate being operational and functional.
For emergencies.
For emergencies, I'm not really in favor of someone that doesn't live in the subdivision being in control of the gate. I think that's not an appropriate thing.
Hank, real quickly then, I call Hank our institutional knowledge. He's held a board seat longer than anybody. And so Hank, why was the decision made to close off that gate?
The decision was made because the Hawaiian Acres people were using, once we had paved Plumeria, even before we paved Plumeria, when we tried to block off the end of Plumeria so that we could work on it to pave it, we had to put jump cars along at the end of Anthurium and Plumeria to keep people from driving up Plumeria. People from Hawaiian Acres dragged the cars away so they could drive through the area that we were trying to prepare for paving. We finally, after we got Plumeria paved, then we decided that more traffic was coming through from Hawaiian Acres, and we asked them to stop, and they said, no, we're not going to stop. And we will not pave Road 1 because we can drive on Plumeria. And therefore, then they would not respect our 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. Cars were racing down the back of Plumeria. People that were living on the back of Plumeria were asking for speed bumps to slow the people from Hawaiian Acres down. That was not feasible at the time, so we decided to put up a gate so that the emergency vehicles could use it. Keys were issued to all the fire departments. Keys were issued to the police department and any other first responders that would have to go through the gate. It was repeatedly vandalized a couple times by a foreign-named person, by James. He even threatened, and while we were welding it up one time, he threatened that he would come back and cut it down again. After we fixed the locking mechanism, put quite a bit of money into the locking mechanism so that it couldn't be vandalized, someone still came and vandalized the lock, drove a screwdriver in it so that it could not be used, and they started cutting the other end of the gate again. So we just put up rocks and made it permanently closed, where emergency vehicles can get through, but it will take some time to remove the rocks and such. Our original purpose was to have that for emergency vehicles. We wanted lock gates so emergency vehicles could get through it, but due to vandalism, it was constantly being cut open.
So if I understand, and Brian, I'll get to you next, if I understand, the biggest reason why we had to close it off is we didn't have great neighbors down the mountain.
Basically.
We had, originally the gate was put up because the people, our neighbors would not respect our speed limits. They chose to drive on our roads because they won't fix their own.
Okay.
That was the main reason.
Yeah, it is. That road, even now, is still pretty much one of our roughest roads that we have and we continue to work on.
And I completely understand all of that.
Yeah.
Completely. The problem from the public safety side, fire side, our 5 Delta Fern Acres fire is not just Fern Acres. Our protection district also includes roads 1, 2, and 3 of Hawaiian Acres, all the way from the highway, all the way down to Road F, or G, or whatever the last road is.
Sure.
That is the easiest way to get through that gate, is the easiest way to get down there.
Mm-hmm.
If I take my fire truck and go up and come down Road 1, a house is completely gone. I mean, most of the time the house is gone anyway, but.
Is that solely because of the gate, or is it solely because of Road 1? Or is it?
If I have to go that way, Road 1. If I can go through the gate, I can beat the Hawaiian, or beat the county guys to a fire by a good half an hour.
Thank you, Brian. I think, Benjamin, you had your hand next, I think.
I have 2 things. I'll start with Brian. Would you have any estimate on how long it would take to clear that gate right now?
I think
Okay, now
that's a Roy thing.
That's the funny thing, is I hear all the time, we can have a D9 there in 30 minutes and have that gate push open. I have never seen anyone be able to load a D9 and have it anywhere in 30 minutes.
Okay, Ryan, I think
I don't
that's
care
it.
who it is.
Okay, number one, nobody said we're gonna bring a D9 over there. Number two, I told him, I gonna clear the gate with my machine, I'll get there in 15 minutes.
No way. There's no way you're having that open in 15 minutes. There's no way.
But, okay, and then you said, hold on. Okay, well, Ben had 2 things, right? Yeah.
I'll let him finish.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sure it's a good topic.
Okay. On top of that, the fact that each, winemaker is not going to pay money for fixed road 1. Why we don't do what we did as a favor to them, like we did the certified kitchen for them, and try to see if we can come up with a grant for paved road 1. Just for help them out.
Working
so
on
that-
that. I'm working on that.
And also,
She's our grant writer.
I'm just throwing that out there.
and also they have been working on Road 1.
Yeah.
They have been
Okay,
putting a lot of money.
okay, I want to let Ben finish up his moment.
Could we just maybe practice opening the gate and get an accurate time of how long we think I can open the gate quickly? Is a good enough answer?
I mean, I've been through it in an emergency. It takes me about 2 minutes to get through there.
Practice it. Like move the rocks and move them back, and it took.
Oh, with the rocks? No way.
If it's like a
It's
fire
welded
I
shut.
put all the rocks there, so
It's welded
how
shut.
easy and quick
You're
to
not
move
getting
those rocks.
through. You have to knock it down. It's welded shut.
So,
The problem that we get is we're gonna have to fix that gate again before we even attempt to practice something like
yeah,
that.
right now,
The lock right now is jammed in there where we cannot get.
The
it
lock
currently
can't be
has
open
rocks
right
in
now.
front of it and it's welded shut. You're not opening that with a backhoe. You're not, there's no
okay,
way.
okay, hold on.
You're
Back here's our
tearing it
next.
out.
Back here's our next
I
question.
wanted to add, if there was ever a forest fire in here like we had, we went and saw the fire first thing, we immediately drove back to the gate and didn't realize that it was barricaded with rocks. And no one was back there even thinking about moving the rocks when there was an emergency in here. Just like he said, we've grown up in here, the bridge has been flooded 4 or 5 times
even if that gate's open, it's one road.
I agree with the
But there's
gatekeeper,
multiple
but
ways.
There's access to a lot more than one road. You can go to 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but it's road one that you're coming to.
Right.
You can turn on one.
But there's multiple.
I mean, there's a whole lot of factors that go into accessing the gate in the event of an emergency. If you ever been on that side, one small car gets stuck over there, we all stuck.
Right.
So there's a whole lot of factors that go into just accessing the gate. Everybody think it's just simple, open the gate whenever
Nothing
can.
to do with
But
keeping access open though.
But the thing about it is we need to do research on what's on the other side of the gate, because we can say, yeah, in emergency we can't get out over there. But like I said, if you get on a low car or a small car, they get stuck on that side. I don't care how much access you get over there, we all stuck.
Okay, hold on, over here, I don't need any plaid shirt.
I know Roy said that he's gonna open himself, but what happens if you're not home?
I'll make sure, I always make sure I get on lieutenant, come to my house, know where the key is, grab them, take the machine.
So guys, I think we're kind of getting a little awry here because that isn't a road, okay? Just like a ripper road's a road, okay? But it's not a road.
Well, I agree with it being there because we have noticed a difference in the traffic where we live.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just in case of emergency to have backup access that's not relying on one person to open it, and we all have to rely. Is this person going to be home? Is this person going to open it? That's the problem. Not keep it open to drive back and forth all day long, but just in the emergency, being able to be sure that it is going to be open for us.
I think that we are sometimes, I understand the safety, boy, that's how I end up with bike helmets, even when I'm an adult, is for safety, okay, I get that. However, I think, guys, we don't want to get too lost in the fact that the biggest burden needs to fall back where it really is. Hawaiian Acres has to be a better neighbor. If they take care of their roads, we don't have to play this game, okay, I understand it costs money. You guys know it. I think partly why we're here today is to talk about how roads cost money. All right, so I'm not prepared to in any manner shift your money to make, I'm not trying to be too mean here, but to make life easier for Hawaiian Acres. They have more residents than we do. If they want to put money together, change their designation, go to court, change their designation, they have the power to do that. They choose not to. Okay, hand in the back. Sorry, Benji, I'll get you
We're
next.
not trying to make life for Hawaiian Acres easier. You're getting off the point. Our point is, we need an exit for an emergency. A gate that can be opened in a state of emergency. The condition of the gate is in right now is pretty much unacceptable. How are we gonna get through that?
I got that next. I'll get you guys.
You know what I mean? And then you say, oh, we cannot control how Hawaiian Acres can take care of the road. What they do with the road is none of our business. Whether we have one exit and one entrance or not. We need another exit. That's the point. Not what Hawaiian Acres is doing, not if Hawaiian Acres don't come driving through. We're not asking for a permanently open gate. We were asking for a gate that can be open in a state of emergency, in a timely manner, not welded shut, not with boulders in front, not need for bring a machine.
Okay.
Like open one gate like normal people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, thank you. I just need to move to the next people. Ben?
James and his family stated that there's a law that I have to verify that a state of land in a certain amount of time becomes its purpose or something like that. They stated that if that land was a road for so many years, it is now deemed a road against anybody's ownership. And I have to verify that. But that's the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really grateful to hear that there will be a second exit in the north, the north side. West side, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's
West
like
Mauka. But so that's cool, and the timeline for that. And then lastly, I just really think we should listen to our fire chief in what his fire plan is to help us build our fire plan, and to say like, you and Roy can get together and have a middle ground on what status the gate can be in, and considering this guy.
Okay,
being
thank you.
involved.
Hank, you were next.
Now, the original purpose of the gate was, and still is, to allow emergency vehicles through for fire. That's why the gate was put up. And that's why keys were issued to everyone. It's because of one or two vandals that have vandalized the gate to the point that it is costing all the property owners in here money to fix it. Every time that person cuts the gate open, we have to pay somebody to re-weld it back together. We paid the original cost of a little over $3,000 that came out of FACA money, not Mr. Ma money, to build that gate.
Mr. Ma means
And then
road money.
now Mr. Ma has to pay for all the vandalism, and that's why the rocks were put in to stop the vandalism. The rocks could be taken away, the gate made functional again, if the person that's vandalizing it will stop vandalizing it. As long as they're going to keep vandalizing it, what's the use?
Yeah, because for him, it isn't about safety. For him,
Yeah.
it's about, he wants to drive it. Yeah.
Right.
All right, so next was Pam.
Yeah, we've had like 4 iterations of gates, probably what, $7,000 or $8,000 invested in gate maintenance, and have always been vandalized. And Mr. Madrigal has us hostage, actually. If we don't give him keys and access, he will take out the next gate.
That's right.
Okay, and then hand back here. I don't hear.
I have an answer to that. Why don't you guys get with the county, the state, a representative, you know what I mean, and walk them through and actually have them
We have.
some type of
We have.
emergency situation with
We've
that.
had the
That's
police
not-
come back there.
We've had a police and our council rep.
Instead of spending our own local funds, why don't you guys go to the county and push that to them, because
They don't do private roads.
They don't touch. You won't find a county dime in here. Yeah.
The private
you guys
roads
ever
is-
direct to the representative, see any?
Oh yeah.
Which is why, when all this started, I said, we're talking about it at the committee level. If we get a problem with the guy that always cutting down the gate, bring him on our team and say, he can be the person to watch the gate. In the event something happens, he live right there, he can open the gate, you know, whatever, you know. So rather than be enemies with the guy, befriend the guy, and see what we can do to work together so that gate can be fixed. Number one. Number two, the guy that cut in the gate, not gonna cut the gate no more if we allow him access through the gate. But it's something that I said from the beginning, we gotta discuss at the committee level before we bring him to the board. So you know, so what I'm asking right now, trust the process. Let us go through them, let us work with the guy at the committee level. Then we can bring something to the board that we can actually make a decision on based on the information that we gather from our research with working with the gate.
So we are making the assumption that this guy is logical and that he is
Let me finish.
and law-abiding.
What it is he owned a property in Hawaiian Acres. He paid the road fees on his mother's lot over here. So is he invested in our community? Yes. Because
No.
he pays the road
His
fees.
mother is. His mother's property.
Okay.
If he's paying it, he's not investing, his mother's property.
So
the property is under him and her. So does he have money invested in our property, in our community? Yes. Because he paid the road fees.
so what?
So we should, you know, table the idea for now. Let us at the road committee work with him and see what we can come up so that we can make them good for everybody.
So just so we understand here a little bit, you know, we've already put his name out there. Mr. Madrigal has called me and chewed me out, and he is not quite a rational person.
Okay. So
And
that being
well, I don't. Yes, I don't have to like it. I'm telling you how much I don't like it.
Okay. So that
And
being
then
said,
hold on, I'm not finished. Yet.
Okay.
Okay. Number 2, he threatened to shoot dead our last president of this board.
And showed up with a gun.
Showed up with a gun. Okay. So you know, freedom. I know we're going to go Second Amendment, freedom to bear arms. Okay. You know, guys, those are all true, but actions have consequences. He is not the guy I'm prepared to trust. If we are indeed worried about our back gate, that's not the guy I'm putting in power over the back gate. Okay.
Okay. Can I comment?
Of course, I'm done. Yes. Go.
So, just like how Benjamin Vallejo made problems in here, I took it on my shoulders to deal with the problem, which it did escalate after. I asked in the board to allow me to take him on my shoulders because the guy who threatened me personally, he came to the office and he threatened to burn my house down. But, you know what I mean? I wouldn't take him on my shoulders if the board allowed me to do him. So let me take care of it at the committee level, and then I'll bring information to the board that we can work on, because that's how we deal with stuff. Sometimes we get into huge arguments, big fights and everything, but we gotta come to a common ground where we both gotta agree that we're on the same side. We live in the same area. So how can we work together harmony. We're not gonna always agree on everything, but come to a common ground where we can work together so that it's a betterment for our entire community, if not communities. So,
Okay,
if
thank
you guys
you.
allow me for taking on my shoulders, I will.
All right.
I will say, as I told you and Roy the other day, I did have a conversation with James, and it's probably the best conversation that I've had with him ever, so
Okay.
maybe he's turned a corner, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'm working with Matt Keneally, Kleinfelder, and Shannon Matson to get one road paved. And that's about 3 years out, I would guess, because we have county funding that will be available to Hawaiian Acres once we get through some Hawaiian Acres for the Kia. Because they, like us, actually don't hold title to their road lots. So we have to get that done. But
So,
about 3 years out, one road will be paved and this will be moot.
so Roy brought up an idea, but do we have a motion with that idea at all? In other words, you're asking to be referred to committee, is what he wants it done, is
I think,
referred to road
but
committee.
don't they need to meet, report to us, and then refer to committee? I think is the process.
Okay,
not just saying-
He wants
either
to
way.
continue to meet with
Can
James.
I also
and
just add-
continue to that.
Okay, we got a lot of hands up, guys. I do want to move from this topic. We've got quite a meeting still ahead of us. But go ahead.
She said that the county's gonna pay Road 1 in a couple years.
Matt did a bill 187 that will allow excess county funds at the end of the year to be allocated to subdivisions with substandard roads. And we've all kind of agreed to back off until Hawaiian Acres gets one road paved. But they have title issues that they're dealing with in order to be able to sign a contract with the county. So we're working on it.
Earlier I heard you guys say that, you won't find a county dollar in here.
That's right. And this is the first, there has never been a dime of county money spent on a subdivision road on this island.
They took Aloha. I've been to Alohas.
But they took it.
Most of the time.
They took it.
Aloha, they came in it.
They now own that.
Yeah.
So it's not a subdivision
Same
road.
with Dave Road.
And 8 Road. But as far as maintaining our roads, all of the subdivisions are maintained by volunteer committees and
Okay.
private property owners.
Okay, Brian?
So just to add for fire protection, there is no longer a volunteer fire unit on Road 1. That guy retired. So we are the sole truck for all the way over, actually to Road 7 is the closest volunteer truck.
Thank you. Joe?
I make a motion, we table this discussion and have the road committee come up with a solution and have them present it to the board.
Okay?
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have, okay, all in favor of referring to committee? That carries. Woo! Okay, well, let me open this up again. I lost track of where we were.
Put an amen on that.
We're still on road committee.
Oh yeah, still on road committee. Okay, so we only got through the first piece of road committee. Oh my goodness. Okay, Roy, would you we got several pieces to your road thing today. Would you cover your budget maybe?
Did everybody get a chance to look at the road budget?
Yes. You emailed it to us a couple days ago. Thank you.
Okay, so, the only difference between this year and last year is $60,000 on the budget. But everybody needs to understand that the $60,000 is not money that we need, that we gotta spend, that we're going to spend. But the proposed budget is money that we're allocating for all operations of our roads. A majority of the line items don't get spent every year. So, even though it's like $62,000 more, it's in a budget. We get the money for cover them. But what this budget is just proposing how much money we need. If we spent all the money on the budget or every line item got spent, how much money we need to operate. So, even though it's a big number, $360,000, we're not gonna spend all that money because majority of that money gets spent, don't get spent.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions about the budget? Go ahead.
Sometimes, not every budget line gets spent, but then we'll say, oh my God, we have to replace the dump truck, and then all of a sudden we have to take money from one category and put it in another, so that does happen all the time.
Which is why I'm creating a contingency fund even on the budget, that in the event something like that happens, we have the money for purchasing new equipment, which is part of the reason why the budget went up from last year.
Okay,
Isn't there already a contingency fund that Mr. Ma A and B?
But $30,000 might not be enough if we gotta replace some truck, you know, cause, the vehicles that we get is like more industrial or commercial type trucks, and those is running to being mine, so.
Patty?
I was wondering if you could add to your Mr. Ma budget another line item, setting aside money during the 4 years that we don't have an audit toward the year that we do have an audit, so you don't have to grab it all at once.
Which is the reason why I'm gonna spend all the money every year.
But you could put in,
But if you put it in a line item, then that means, and you make me single, that means we gotta pull them out of our budget, put them in an account, because that's money that we're not gonna touch.
that's what budgets are for.
Which you can, we can, I mean.
Well, I think that's,
But we'll have to be on decision, I would say, at the committee level, and the board level, and at the resident level, at the actual amount that we're gonna put aside every year.
It doesn't have to go to the residents. It's a board.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, well.
I'm the road chairman, I say we gotta go to the residents because everybody putting this money in. And I like everybody to have on board on how much money we put in away. If they say $30,000 every year, okay, we put $30,000 away. So nobody can say, oh, I never know what this money was getting put away. Everybody should be involved with this decision making because everybody putting money toward it. For me, that's the right thing to do. For me, that's how I work. I'm not gonna do stuff without word from everybody. Everybody happy. I try to do things for the betterment of everybody, not just a select few.
You can do that for everyone.
all right. Thank you, Roy. Oh, yes.
I have a quick, addressing Patty's question there. I see in the budget that, for attorney professional fees, which I believe that we put the audit underneath, is $20,000 is set aside for that. This year, it looks according to the spreadsheet that we spent $6.50 of that $20,000. So as far as Patty's question about setting aside the money, it looks like we set aside $20,000 for this year and $20,000 for next year. And so far of this year, we've only spent $6.50 of that. So it looks like we do have money set aside that will carry over for the next year for the audit.
But what she's saying is we should put the money away instead of leaving them on the line item and pull them out.
Oh, she wants it separated as a.
That's what I understood.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying put it in a line item, and it's in your budget to pay for the audit on the 4th.
Okay.
It basically is under attorney and professional fees.
Good, I'm glad that it's there.
Okay,
I just want to bring that up.
great, guys. Any other questions about his proposed budget? All right, do we have a motion to accept his proposed budget?
I move we accept the proposed Mr. Ma budget.
Second. All in favor? Looks like enough. Okay, thank you, everybody. Now let's, Roy, what else you got for, here, I'll close this down and I'll just wait for you. What else you got for road committee today?
Road fees is about it.
Okay,
We discussed in our meeting about raising the road fees, and I guess that's the biggest item for today, is the raising of the road fees. Number one, without me having any say, because I was late taking it. And the fact that it got voted on and passed without going through the road committee.
okay. So I guess before we open it up to everybody, let me give just a quick explanation how we're at where we're at today.
The misinformation is not 250.
Okay, yeah, there's some misinformation out there as well. Okay.
So I would request that discussion be open for this by somebody who voted yes.
Oh, okay, I like the way you're wording that. We're using Robert's rule. I love it. I'm a Robert's Rule nut. And so what Roy's asking is that if we go to reverse the road fees, we would need 2 people to make the motions who voted for it last month, okay? But let's have we can have a conversation before we make motions, and usually we do.
We moved to have a conversation.
Okay. Actually, we can just start visiting, but, okay.
Well, excuse me, we just passed this budget for next year. We just all voted, the board voted on it and passed it. This does not include any road fee raising.
Okay.
Does. So as far as raising the road assessment, it's not gonna be done for next year according to this budget. It's open for discussion now, but according to this budget, this is what we're gonna be charging next year.
So let me, and I happen to be one of those that voted for it, so I guess it's appropriate I do so. Let me give a little background so that we can try to clear the information. Facebook is a wonderful way to get confused, okay? And a lot of the information there was inaccurate. Let me start off by saying, first of all, you guys may or may not have heard, the county passed an ordinance wherein up to $250 will be transferred from your property taxes back to the
No, they will be taken off your property
there we
tax
go.
bill.
Yeah, your property taxes will go down up to $250 that you, hold on, let me get this out first to make sure I get it right. Will be taken off your property tax bill that was used towards the laying of the roads. Okay?
If you're a homeowner.
It
lives on your property.
Well, true,
Yes.
true, which happens to be the majority of our people, okay? And so, yeah, there's all sorts of circumstances out there. Is it raining? Oh, that sucks. Come on, guys, in if you wish to stand along the sides here or whatever. We'll make room for you, of course.
Okay.
Oh, you fit, unbelievable. I mean, sorry, right.
But just have to think thin.
Okay. So guys, when they passed that, which only became public to us in October, okay, there are several things we had to jump through to take advantage of that. One of those is we had to give 60 days notice before it went in the newsletter, okay, which is why we had to do it last meeting. We couldn't do it this meeting, otherwise we'd miss our newsletter, which we have to have all the articles in within the next 2 weeks, okay. Number 2, okay, we have not raised road fees, and I believe it's been since 2021, okay? And which means that, I don't know if you guys have paid attention, inflation's gone up 20.2% since then. That means now every dollar we bring in is only worth 80 cents of what it was before. We aren't getting as much done as we used to, and that's fine. You know, we've made it work. Roy's done a great job with the money, okay? I can't fault him for that. But it doesn't lessen the fact that we still have less to work with. We have also, out of that, given still regular raises. Now, not a ton, and they're well deserved, but both to the office staff and to our road crew during that period of time. So that 80% is actually less than that, okay? And again, have no problem. Those people have earned it. Those people work. They're faithful. We love them, okay? But guys, we cannot continue to act like the money is faith, hope, and pixie dust, okay? At some point, if we can't raise it now when we're going to get it all back, well then when do we raise it? We have to raise it at some point. We can't just hold the line here. By comparisons, HPP, which has actually less percentage of their roads paved than we do, charges $400, I think they're up to $460 this year if I heard right.
How much miles of road HPP got?
Doesn't matter, but they have twice as many people. Hold on, they have twice as many people per acre that we do. So they actually have vastly. Yeah, we
get 170.
Okay.
We have 26.
Okay.
They have 16,000 residents.
We don't. We have vastly less than that.
And we have vastly less road.
Well, okay, but how does that, it's a percentage thing, it's not a raw numbers thing. It's a percentage. They have twice as many, they have 1 acre lots. So they're collecting road dues twice as often as we do here.
They have 5 times as much roads.
No offense, but their roads are a lot nicer.
A lot.
Okay, they are.
It's not even comparable.
And if we want to spend $460 a month, we can make ours nicer too.
No, we don't.
I'd like to hear the
We're not outspending of our roads. Our roads is perfectly fine the way they are.
Okay, Benjamin, well, hold on, I wanna make sure I covered all the, okay, so
Wait.
our road increase this
No,
year.
it's not to $250.
No, it isn't. It's up to 235, okay? Because it was wisely suggested that rather than throw this all at everybody all at once, that they're going to get back anyway.
We're just seeing
Okay?
the bylaws.
But that's per lot. And you
We
only get
followed
that.
the bylaws on that.
By the way, if you
which
own
was-
more than one lot, you're only getting $250 back if you're paying
Mhm.
that.
And you also-
Never gotten before.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not the reason there should be a vote for that. It should be based on a budget. What is the actual numbers? That's what the
Okay.
bylaws state, is
Well-
that an increase should be based on a budgetary need for road maintenance, not
So
on a
who
tax
painted
credit.
the lines out there showing work needs to be done on Lehua? I'm not saying that who is a name. I meant somebody who saw a need, okay? There are needs out there. If you guys think that our roads don't need work, I don't know where you guys, maybe you live in Hawaiian Acres, okay? But the truth is they
We don't
do.
even know why I need to go.
No, I know that, but my example of.
So what are you
don't
saying
think-
then?
Well, do you not believe our roads need work?
I believe we do not need a hike up in our road fees. Our roads do need work, and they have been getting work. And they have progressively been getting better and better and better and better, is what I'm saying.
But they're getting less and less work.
To work with, we
You're
can't,
getting less
at some
per
point,
lane.
all we're gonna pay,
Unpermitted structures. Maybe we should stop spending money
what
on
are you
that.
talking about? None
Those
of,
structures unpermitted.
road reduce do not
I
pay
pay for
any
those.
of this. We bring up private funding to do all of this, okay, guys?
Those have all been paid for with grants.
And what about the people that don't pay? What efforts have been made to go after?
They're the same that we can do now. We try our darndest to encourage,
We
to
can
put
put liens
fees
against
on.
them and that's all.
Yeah. Benjamin.
I think a lot of energy went to this, and I know you guys said you talked about it very extensively. What we started our community group was for a kind of a conduit between what just happened in this road fee assessment and the raising of it, and how we see it. So we don't feel included, and we just wish it might have come to a lot of the people before a decision was made. And we also want to question if there's so much effort on the dollar value going down and putting liens on people's properties, we want that same effort to be on how the money's being spent and where we could probably increase our efficiency with the roads or with the mowing or with how we do things before we just increase the fees to the people to make up for it. So I don't see like successful audits that we get to be a part of that say our money is definitely as efficient as possible. We don't see any ideas on including my suggestion, which is extend our paving to reduce the amount of lawns that have to be mowed. And like that would completely cut our labor expenses in half. And we don't see any of that effort to reduce before we have to increase our road fees. So really, we want like a board of inclusion instead of exclusion. And I'm not saying you are, but it feels like you're excluding the people to be a part of the knowledge and to be involved.
So thank you. We did just be, obviously you heard us talk about a little earlier, how we can include more people in looking at those dollars. So although that's cool and it's awesome to include people more, we did talk about how we could do that. We did, hence the reason why it's going back to the policy committee on how we can create that policy.
Well,
that
thank you
allows
for
that to
listening
happen.
to us. We're pushing for that. Yes.
Okay, back over here.
I'll say we feel completely excluded. We had no idea. Not that I'm totally against the road fees if we're going to get improvements, but where was that shown anywhere? We actually heard from Layla on the misinformed Facebook that this was even happening. We went to the last road meeting, and Roy told us that he has a sufficient budget. So how could we not listen to the road chairman who's dealing with all the roads? That makes perfect sense. He said they're rolling money over every year, and if you are going to up the fees, what's the proposed extra money going towards exactly? We would like to know what improvements you're going to do with our money. I would suggest a consultation for you guys from maybe an excavation company, because the speed bump situation, no one voted on it. We paid for them to go in, we paid for them to get removed. That was a bad decision. You guys bought a farm tractor. Roy said it was $40,000. It's useless in here. I run heavy equipment. We would like our farm tractor money allocated to a mini excavator with a hammer to start busting our shoulders so we can see out of our driveways. who in here has any experience with excavation? That's, yeah, Roy does, so he probably has the #1 vote on this.
Okay, thank you, and I saw another hand next to you.
I
Okay.
think it sounds like the main reason, which I could be late to understanding, this whole taxing. Was that the reason why the need, or you guys feel it's justified that you're gonna get the money back? Like, who's gonna get the money back? Can you please explain this?
Sure, I'm sorry, yeah,
I'm
and there are some, here's one of them too, kind of some rundown of facts of that bill, but yeah, you can come over and grab it anytime you want. But I'll try my best to explain it quickly.
Every single person gonna get this money back?
Everybody who pays road
You
fees
have to have a home exemption to get your money back.
and a home exemption.
Small lots don't apply. If you happen to have an unpermitted structure, you don't apply. Probably more than half of the subdivisions.
Yes.
No, it's, if you look on your real property tax on the county website, property tax, see if you have a homeowner's exemption on your property tax bill, that's what qualifies you.
So that's
Having
half of the
having
subdivision.
unpermitted has nothing to do with it.
You can get a home exemption with an unpermitted home.
So you raise your taxes to get a refund?
No, it isn't a raise. They're gonna charge that tax no matter what. If you spend $2,400 a year right now on property taxes, whether we increase this or not makes no difference on your
I don't think
property
you're understanding.
taxes.
If I have a farm property and I raise it to a residential property, the land tax goes up considerably. So
Residential goes up, homeowner goes down.
But
Homeowner goes.
they're gonna
Homeowner's
find you
lowest.
eventually, because we had an unpermitted home on a lot, and they flew a drone, and ours went from 25,000 to 460,000 like that. And they didn't care that we weren't unpermitted. They, from a drone, looked like we had 10 million homes when they were chicken coops. And so it's gonna happen eventually. You're gonna get raised eventually, so why not take advantage of the credit?
So if I could, if you spend $2,400 now and you have the exemption, okay, I realize that is a thing. Oh, let me finish my sentence here, or my statement. If you pay that now, $2,400, okay, whether you pay your road dues or not makes no difference. That doesn't go up or down. The difference is where that money comes back to. It's going to come back to you. If we had raised the road fees to $250, then it ends up on our roads. Otherwise, that same tax money, that same property taxes, goes into the county coffers. They decide how that $250 is going to get spent. If it didn't come back to us here as a refund to you, then what? It fixes another road in Kona? I mean, guys, that's kind of like that. And in your hand, I'm sorry, his hand is next.
So in order to get the tax exemption, we have to raise the road fees?
No, to get the maximum exemption.
Yeah, so why are we raising it? We already get the exemption.
You guys trying, we gotta raise it now, it's the only way we're gonna get them back, we gotta raise them now.
Because it starts in
The
January.
conversation.
Yeah, that's not.
That is the
That's exactly what he said earlier.
But no,
What I just said is exactly what he explained earlier. He explained earlier why you guys rushed it, because you guys had to push it, cannot be on this meeting, had to be on the meeting before, so we could get the exemption.
The exemption is good for 8 years.
Let me finish my sentence,
Uh-huh.
just like you, pal.
Okay.
So you don't have to raise it to get the exemption, right? Right?
No.
So why are we raising it?
We needed to raise it.
For what? He just explained, we needed to hurry up and raise it to
Look,
get
we
the
haven't
exemption.
raised it since 2021. We've had cost of doing business increases. We should raise it every year, just a small increment. We're allowed to raise it 15% a year, and we haven't since 2021. We have greater costs. And right now, nobody will do slurry coat anymore, which we used to be able to do. Now we can only do asphalt. And asphalt is about $260,000 a mile. And right now we can afford to do 1 mile a year. So what if we could do 2 miles a year?
1 mile's fine. Roy said we don't need it.
I think we need it.
Are you in charge of the road budget? Are you in charge of the road budget?
No.
Roy is.
Okay.
So how come the guy in charge of the road budget didn't have no say in this?
Exactly.
Okay, we are
You
running,
guys all seem to know
we
exactly
run a
what money
meeting
we get, exactly
with
what
who
money
we have here. I realized Roy was in the ER, that was a bummer, okay? But as soon as he got here, the first conversation I had was to pull him offside and tell him everything that happened, so he had that information. I think the next hand up was over here, Benjamin.
I think it really revolves around how this probably is a great financial idea, but it wasn't delivered to the people in the way that we liked it, and that's what we're really sharing right now.
Transparency, there is none.
So that's what we want to work on. You say we are working on it, it's because we're pushing for it. So we really don't feel like you're excited about what we're pushing for, really either. We're just trying to get an idea that we're a part of this because we have to pay or we get a lien put on our property. So we're not like pointing fingers at everybody here. We're just trying to feel included. We're trying to do this road committee thing. Like, we just don't feel it was delivered in the right way. So I guess that's what we need to work on.
Okay, Roy, you were next.
Okay, so a lot of people under the misconstruency or whatever you want to call it, that we're paving less and less of a mile every year. If you take the linear footage of 1 mile and you divide it by 200, because it's 200 feet between each pole, 5,280 feet divided by 200 is 26 poles. We're paving more than 26 poles every year. So, you know, and with the thickness of what we laying down, we're finding out that we're paving more than a mile. And the reason why we got away from slurry seal is because according to the contractors, slurry seal is only made for low traffic areas, which our roads is heavy traffic. So speaking to all the contractors that did put bids in for paving our roads, they said slurry seal is only for parking lots. So that's why we went with the asphalt. And you know, I mean, I would ask you guys again, trust in the process and let's see what's going on. And so far since the paving that we did with the asphalt, I never get nothing but good reviews about it. You know, there's only a few people like, oh, you never paved enough on my roads, you know, kind of a deal. And I gotta tell you guys, this past year paving, Hibiscus got the least amount of paving out of every road out there. We got 2 poles. Everybody else got more. We're not complaining about it. I'm not complaining about it. So what we're doing is we're looking for the worst portions of road in our subdivision. Tackle those areas. Make those areas nice. Eliminate the having to patch holes that often on those areas. That's what we're looking for. That's what I'm asking for from everybody. I'm pretty sure board members live on every road in our subdivision. I'm pretty sure get residents here that live on every road in our subdivision. So if we can look at the worst parts, relay that information to the resident committee so we can look at those areas and we can finalize what 10 poles we're going to pave this year.
Okay, over here in the back, your hand was up. Yeah, I don't know your name.
I just want.
Okay, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't know which one of you.
I just want more transparency from you guys. I mean, we have a bulletin board at the beginning of the subdivision. Why isn't there more signs? You know, I just saw somebody put, there was a meeting today, which was great, but I feel like you guys voted on this road fee thing. Why wasn't that all over the board?
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Or waiting for Roy to get out of the ER.
I mean, that's
Pretty important.
But more communication from you guys, because Layla's the only one communicating, it feels like. Sure, you send out a newsletter at the beginning of the year. Who reads that? What is this, 1950?
Or things changed from that one.
You know, we all have
we could have 100 people here. I'm sure a lot
Yes.
of people
Okay.
would like to be
Yes.
involved in
Okay,
this.
hold on, I gotta go through order.
Yeah.
Christy?
When the road fees went up in 21, was there that much bitching and complaining about it? I don't
Anytime it
remember.
goes up.
Well, yeah, but I don't remember this much hate and discontent. I mean, it came in the newsletter, you paid it,
Well,
life went on. What's the difference?
well, I think,
That's what you see, that's kind of what's
I-
going on.
I think the biggest reason, and I'll give her credit, whether she likes it or not,
$20.
Layla's doing, Layla's doing a better job, amongst perhaps some other things, of getting
Exactly.
words out. I think that's probably,
communicating more.
With the community,
that's
which is should be.
great. Okay, over here to Roy real quick.
Okay, so to comment about communication, any resident willing to step up and take care of our Facebook page or our community page, step up and do them. If somebody willing for make signs, post them out there on the sign, step up, do them. You know, what I don't want is we fighting over the fact that everybody never know. So if you know, get involved, be a part of the solution to getting information out there, volunteer your time, like we all volunteer our time, and maybe work with Layla and see what we can do for, get the information more out. Because I gotta tell you guys, every time we do a mailing, costs $2,600. Every time we do a mailing, and we do them twice a year. So there's $5,200 that gets spent only on mailings.
But if we can get other venues, because I will tell you guys right now, I'm not tech savvy, so I cannot do them. So I asking somebody for step up and make it happen. So
And Facebook or other social media is wonderful, but it's only one piece. You won't get everybody on there. You won't even get probably half the people on there.
Yeah, so make a poster on the board out there with sign up.
Okay, hold on. Brian's been waiting next. Go ahead, Brian.
So all I'm gonna say about the paving or whatever. The last time we raised the fees, we used to get a full block of the road done. And I know it was slurry seal or whatever, and that's crap. But now we get, what, 20 poles done. That's not even half a block.
that's not even right. That's not
Or
even
26 poles or
We're
whatever.
not even getting 26 poles. We're getting more than 26 poles.
Okay, but that's not a full block of the road.
That's a mile.
Okay,
It's not.
Layla, you had your hand up.
It's not a
The
full
paving
block.
is one time, the slurry seal, you do Band-Aid, you gotta keep fixing. The
Okay,
paving,
but if we can raise the
One
fees
time.
and get more done, that, I mean.
All I was asking,
But just transparency
There's-
would be
there's-
nice.
there's-
Yeah.
Everybody's goal would be
let me speak for a
I
second.
mean, I own more than one lot, I'm gonna get screwed on this deal.
And so do I, Brian. So, but what I'm
I
asking you
know.
guys, what we're asking is, if you're gonna raise the fees of
I'm
the
not raising them.
bylaws,
I'm not raising,
I'm
I'm
saying,
nothing to do with the
board-
board.
hold on, let me speak, since it's my turn, I raised my hand.
Go ahead.
I've been helping to try to communicate. That was what Roy asked. I'm as a resident for a long time. My family grew up here. I grew up here. Was to help him communicate to the people what is going on, and that's all I've asked you guys. And that's been my whole effort has been to help communicate what is going on here to the people. That's why I have the live stream going. So I started a Facebook group. So I spend a lot of my own free time. That's so much free time to help with this. What we're asking you guys is where is the budgetary needs for this increase? Because that is according to the bylaws. You can increase it 50%, but what is the budgetary needs? You're just saying, oh, everything's going up. We know groceries are going up. I saw how many people showed up to the food basket. Things are really tight for people economically right now. And there's already people who can't afford to pay the road fee, and there's a lot of people that aren't paying the fee because they can't afford it. And we've been I know Roy's been trying to work with them to put on payment plans and things. So you're just pinching what is already so tight without any legal justification according to your bylaws. That's all I've asked. I apologize for saying it was $250. I thought you guys were increasing it to the maximum amount. By the way, it's between $75 and $250 tax credit, so there's no reason to max it out unless we really want to get the $250 back. Some people won't pay the $250. Some people are paying much more than $250 if they have multiple lots. So all I wanted to hear today was, one, thank you for letting us know what the increase is, and two, where is the budgetary justification for that increase? And that's it.
Okay, and I think, I don't remember who else's hand was up. Sorry if I'm out of order. Go ahead, Patty.
So this is a question for Roy. According to the bylaws, the road committee is supposed to initiate increases. He wasn't there at that meeting. Do you agree with the increase, Roy?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
And my other question for you is, if this goes through, it's supposed to be effective this coming January, so those will be in our invoices with that amount, $235, not $250 per lot. But your budget is already made, not including that increase.
Okay. So your question is?
My question is, are you gonna revise the budget? What are you gonna do? with that
Let's
extra
see.
money?
Budget is already made. You get extra money. What do you do with that extra money?
I'm asking you.
Paved roads.
Exactly.
Goes on the roads.
Exactly. So we might get a little bit more money for do a little bit more. So
Okay, well.
I mean, almost self-explanatory. You know what I mean? If you're gonna budget this small, okay, I give a donation of this much more because the road fees went up. Okay. So now what do we do with this money? I can ask the residents what you guys like to do with the money. Or I can just roll them into doing more paving.
Just asking.
Okay, Patty.
This Bill 38 came about because we've been working for decades to try and get the county to help us with the cost of maintaining private roads. And they have been unwilling, we finally found a way by giving a property tax credit for the county to start helping the subdivisions to maintain their roads. It was the idea behind this bill. It's the first time that the county is going to actually help what were called as non-conforming subdivisions with road maintenance. And for the last 68 years, all of these roads on our island have been maintained by volunteers and property owners. And this is just not right. And so finally, we get the county is going to start helping us with the cost of maintaining our roads. And that is just, it's like a wonderful thing. I'm not saying we have to raise road fees in order to match their max, but damn, it's wonderful that we're getting help from the county for the first time in 68 years.
Thank you, Maddie.
What help are we getting from the county on the roads?
Every homeowner gets a $250 credit on their property tax.
The home exemption, but you make it
But
sound like the county's
one
gonna
of
come
the
help
things,
pave our roads.
one of the things that we expect will happen is that we will get increased amount of participation in paying road deeds. That the subdivisions will be able to pave more and maintain more, and that the quality of roads in subdivisions will go up as a consequence of this tax credit.
So if we do not raise the road fees, we still can apply for $215 of tax credit.
Yes,
So the difference is $20 a month.
yes.
$20 a year.
I'm sorry, $20 a year. That's what we're arguing about.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, you know, one way or the other, I don't have a strong opinion either way, but if these were rules that were in the bylaws, then let's stick with the bylaws and make this increase next year, not this year.
Okay, so a lot of hands I see going up. I think Ben's was up first.
Something that Roy brought up at the road meeting was that we don't know if this gentleman who created this law is going to stay in office. He can't stay in office. He can't run again.
No, the bill has passed until 2037.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was new information. Great. We were just like Roy had a great suggestion that we watch how this goes for 1 year, and you do what the people seem to be really irritated about is deliver it to the people in a way that isn't a surprise or a shock. And I don't think we're arguing about $20 a year. I think we're arguing about the delivery.
So, okay, to answer that, guys, you know, if we could find a way to reach every person in this subdivision, that's our biggest conversation here. Whether it's because of our emergency plan, or it's because that is, you know, again, what do you do with the persons that sit at home? They have people bringing their groceries.
Okay, you didn't do the board. You didn't do an online effort. You didn't post it to the board for anybody to be here.
I forgot to post that we were
You
having.
didn't post it online. You didn't tell us to post it online.
It's
So-
the same day every month. Why do we have to remember to post it? Isn't it in your brain? I mean, if it's something you're passionate about, it should be on your calendar.
And
Well, you know, I
It should
think
be
it's
posted.
probably not working because it's not working. So we have to try something different, right?
Hank, you wanted to add?
When we have the meeting, the third Saturday of each month, it's been that way for years. Last month, when we had our meeting, we looked up here to the camera that would be there. There was no camera. We looked for a person from the resident
I'm just one
committee.
person,
There
hey.
was,
There's
right?
people not
But
on
you
the
look at all the
too.
people that are on the resident committee that could have been here in your place.
Yeah.
But nobody chose to show up.
I know, it's really sad.
And so it's not the board's fault for not being transparent. There was nobody here to be transparent
You
to.
could have done better.
Nobody
You could have
showed
done
up,
better.
nobody had a camera. So now they want to blame the board because nobody had the gumption to come to any of the meetings or to put a camera.
Just the one
which-
meeting, which by the
One
way,
meeting.
all of you have.
That's all they're complaining about is last meeting.
Yeah,
That-
because
that's
you
all-
voted
it's all
to
based
increase
on last
the
meeting.
road fee without the road
If-
chairman and not a
If
proper
there would have
budget.
been somebody here to put a camera up, if there would have been a representative here, they could have discussed this. Even though you weren't here, you could have sent a representative. So don't blame the board
It's
for
actually
which
the
your
board's
fault was
responsibility
for not
to
coming.
do
I'm not
that.
blaming you.
I know,
I'm blaming the
it was-
resident
it's
committee for not
technically-
coming forward and being here to present their point.
Which no one is even on the board in the resident committee. The board's responsibility is to let the community know. I'm just a volunteer.
Exactly, we are all volunteers.
But I'm not
But
an
someone
official
could have
board
taken
member.
your position. There are enough people on the resident committee, that one person could have come forward and taken your position to come here and represent the committee. No one chose to do it. It's not your fault. You were busy. But there are enough other people on the resident committee who weren't so busy that they couldn't come here.
That's not true.
Okay.
Cody, who's on there, has family, has games.
There
George
had to
and
have been
Missy
somebody that
have
would have
religious
come. All they had to
reasons.
do was come and put a camera up there.
Why didn't one of you do that? I've also actually
That's not,
asked
that was,
for
that
camera.
when it was set up for the resident committee to do it.
Why
And
don't we talk
you
about
guys
the
took
So basically
possession
you're
of
saying
that
if
and
we miss
said
that
that
hour,
you
we're
were being
SOL.
responsible.
Like,
Yeah.
if
Well,
we miss that hour,
well,
we're
guys,
SOL.
guys, just like you guys all came out today, and I'm grateful. I like having more community involvement.
We came out because you guys are breaking the bylaws.
Okay.
You're not following our bylaws.
You're claiming
on
the tax credit is for something else when it's like it shouldn't be for the road.
We came out to
Put
preach
it
and
on
home.
paper. What exactly is the extra money gonna go towards? I mean,
Well, he said it several times. The roads.
he said he wanted to vote no on it.
Well, yeah, but he answered your question several times. If I have more money, I put it on the roads.
I think you should have
He also
written
said he doesn't need more money.
If you proposed it to the people with the benefits we were gonna get, I don't think anyone here is worried about the $20 a year, but it's the fact, we actually wanted to put a sign on the front board and told we weren't allowed to, that's strictly for Fern Acres to post things, because I would have made a sign that said your road fees are gonna increase, come to the meeting on Saturday, you'd probably get a lot more input.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all the volunteers on the board, but I would say it's part of your job title to be the ones to get the camera with our funds so everyone can see. You know,
And
you
put
guys,
them on the
yeah,
board.
if you don't want to do it, maybe someone should take your place.
Okay, okay,
Comment real quick.
okay, real quick.
Okay, so, speaking for the board, I'm sorry to everybody. Wait, let me finish. I'm sorry that our communication is not as open and not easily accessible. So, like I said, I'll reiterate again. Anybody who willing to come in, donate their time, or put signs out there. There's a few things that gotta happen. You gotta show up to the board meeting so that you know what's going on, so you can relay the information to everybody. Number two, you gotta be able to donate your time and do all this stuff on top of whatever you do in your everyday lives. You know, so for that reason, coming from the board, we're sorry that we're not the perfect people, and I'm sorry that we're not the best people at communicating with our community. But if we can get somebody that can be our communication liaison, that can come in to every meeting, sit in, listen to the information, put them on signs, get approval from the board on what to put on the sign so that everybody know. Please step up at any point in time
I think that
and
needs
help
to be
us
a
out.
board member, because you guys are gonna always be at the meetings. Yeah,
I
doesn't that
thought
make
that's
sense to
what the
everybody?
residents committee.
Well, that's part of what the resident committee was created for, is to get information out to the community, get the voice of the community, so that when we come to the board, then we already got the voice from the residents.
We always need more
So they have-
backup. We always need more backup because I can't be expected. Just like each one of you, sometimes we have things come up. We can't come to every single meeting.
Right.
Well,
So you have a comment right there.
So, I was asked by George Wellman to be the secretary of the resident committee in order to hopefully follow with my duties, and I have agreed to do that.
Okay.
So I will be attending the meetings. Each committee, including the road committee, should have their own secretary taking notes of the meetings that are going on, which I'm sure the road committee has.
no more.
So you are expecting the resident committee to also take notes for road committee?
Asking for help. I'm asking for help
You're asking
because
for
I cannot do it
That's
myself.
fine. Then I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
I have been on a few boards, and I'm gonna have to say that the communication that comes from the board is lacking. We all know that it is lacking. When you take a volunteer position, you're responsible for your roles. And as a board, you're responsible to your community and rolling out any information. Now, instead of a small board meeting every third Saturday or whatever it may be, for something as important as voting in a road fee increase, there should have been a large sign on the front board with the agenda of what was going to happen with the meeting. In fact, that should happen for every board meeting. There should be an agenda posted and the residents know. Because sometimes we're not going to attend every board meeting, right? We're going to attend what interests us. Now, my one question first bylaw broken with the vote for this fee increase? Did
Okay.
it go through the proper process?
So it doesn't actually say that it starts in road committee. What it does, hold on.
It does.
What it does say is it comes through the road committee, meaning that I actually brought it up, and I'm a member of the road committee. I had the entire road committee except Roy here, and we all discussed it. What's that?
Except the head of the road committee?
Well, sure, but his vote is just 1 of 9, okay? I mean, just like I'm just 1 of 9. And so the rest of the road committee, even if he would have voted no against it, we voted it in unanimously, okay?
I didn't
So-
know that you were on the road committee, Jared, because I rarely see you at the meeting.
He's on every committee in the.
And I show up about every 3rd one or so, I guess, you know. So, anyway, guys, so, you know, if we get real technical, no, we didn't. But if we go with it, you know, if we wanted to start at the road committee level, then yes, we did. Okay, I'll admit that. But I believe that we, by the spirit and the intent of it, the entire road committee was able to contribute, save Roy. Shucks, man. He never misses a meeting, but he was in the ER. What can we do? We can't just not have a meeting, you know. So, okay, guys.
Tax break is right around the corner, yeah.
Well, sure, why not? You don't want a tax break? We all do.
Well, we don't want a tax break, but we can get the tax break at
What
what we're
raise
paying right now. Is that right?
Yeah, 215. Why not? Why not take advantage of
Because I think all the
250?
people in here who are struggling to pay the road
How many
fee as
people
it
get
is,
into the house because they can't pay
people
their
that
road
are
fees?
living in, you know, storage containers,
Or
whatever
they're
it is,
on-
and
or on
can't afford
fixed
it.
incomes, like.
Well, even Social Security got a 25% increase in those same years.
Like you said, groceries went up too, right?
Well, sure, 20.2%.
That Social Security was negated by the increase in the Medicare. So
Well,
that
I'm
doesn't
just,
mean
yeah,
anything.
I just don't know how else to approach it, guys.
Well, my problem is your lack of communication, your lack of transparency, just like the speed humps, folks, whatever you wanna call them, those are put in, but why can't you gather, and even if it's posted, and even if no one shows up, right? Post what is gonna happen, post what you want to happen. Hey, community, have you heard about this tax credit that we can get? You know, how do you feel? Like,
That makes sense.
yes, not everyone has Facebook.
You-
Yes, not everyone drives by. But we're not here to make sure every single person in this community is notified. We have our own personal responsibility as well. But if you're not posting in it and you're not communicating, we're not gonna know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm asking.
Sure. And I can appreciate that. And yes, guys, communication is the hardest thing. How do I get the word down to the last house on the last driveway on the left? I don't know. How do I get it to the other 20 ones just like that, you
She's
know?
saying you don't need to contact every person, but you guys aren't being proactive at all. That's the problem.
Yes.
There was nothing on the board that said your road fees are increasing.
Okay.
Come to this meeting. Don't
But-
you want to hear what the community's input is?
But it's kind
It's
of.
obvious, your board members, some of them, they could care less what the community has to say.
That's
Look at their attitude when we tell them what we think. It's bitching and moaning. Nothing but rolling of the eyes. They don't want to hear what the community has to say. They're only worried about what they think and their opinion.
Yeah, who paid,
Which is
who paid
obvious.
for the speed bump?
Instead
So
of
if that
wanting
went
to
a
reach more
vote-
people, the attitude is, the sign's up, same salary every month. What kind of attitude is that? You should be wanting to reach more people. Not same time every month.
Well,
And
guys,
opinion is not bitching and moaning.
since I've been here, the communication has increased. You may not feel it, but I think part of the reason why you're here is because it has.
That was strictly from someone that's
Whether,
on the board.
whether it's from my voice or from her voice or from his voice, if you guys get the word, communication's getting better.
But see, you were saying that she was misinforming people. though.
Just on pieces
was.
of it,
The
and
only-
she acknowledged
She
the piece.
I did. No, that's
Completely.
fine. The only way we can get
The only thing
accurate
was-
At least I
information.
tried.
No, bullshit.
The only way
It wasn't
we can
just the price.
Accurate
What's your problem?
information is from someone on the board. Doesn't that make sense to
She
the board?
was more than just the
Yeah,
price.
any one of the
That's
board
all I
members could
understand.
tune in online and correct
That's
us,
my
you know? You guys could be
What is it?
online
Explain
and
so.
this could all be like solved first.
What is it? She fucking misquoted me several times.
Oh, wow.
Are you on the board?
No.
Can we keep it civil? Then who are you? Can we keep it
Okay.
civil, guys?
Guys.
Let's just keep it civil, please.
Guys,
Come
please.
on, come on.
Guys,
Attitude. I give you whatever I want. Stay out of my face.
$1.70, guys, $1.70 a month isn't
She's
worth
not a
this.
board member,
I
so
don't
who
know.
cares what he has to say?
Okay.
My face.
She is, and she called Layla stupid on Facebook.
Yeah,
Everybody saw that.
You're being rude to people that are.
I don't want to not what's
Okay.
causing drama, just trying to help communication.
All right,
Just
guys,
throw that out
I
there.
think we've lost our way on this.
Yes.
We lost our way, he lost his way. Nobody's getting anybody's face but you.
Okay, guys.
You understand that? Nobody's getting anybody's
Okay.
face but you.
All right.
So fuck you.
Bring it down, please.
You tell me fuck off.
Okay.
Go. You got something? Come on the road. Come on the road, fire chief.
Okay, time out, time out.
Alright.
Rule of order, please go ahead.
Okay,
Fern.
guys, here we go.
Wait.
Based on, hey, excuse me, it's
Shut
time
your
to move
fucking
on.
mouth. You talking to me trying to get in my face?
Guys,
Come on the road.
guys, it's time for you to hit the road, man.
Stop, guys. Please. You're making this not helpful. This would be about solutions.
Okay.
I agree.
I shouldn't have gotten that.
Okay.
Okay, guys,
Let's take it
it's
back.
time.
Let's take it
He's
back.
talking shit about
just
me.
sitting
I
there-
know what you're gonna
he's
He's
just
sitting
sitting
there
there
talking
staring me
shit about
down.
me because you stirred up shit on Facebook and I tried
Guys,
to correct
guys,
it.
guys, this is ridiculous. All right? If we're going to continue to communicate like we'd like, this has to stop.
Agreed.
All right? We're all adults here. Even if we don't like it, suck it up just a little longer. Okay? Please.
You should look over there and tell him that.
I'm not talking to anybody specifically.
Who's the first guy to sweat somebody in here? Me or him?
Excuse me. You need to tone it down, my man.
Who's the first guy to swear somebody in here? Me or him?
Okay.
Me or him?
Obviously,
Who
yeah.
got in whose face?
But
Me or him?
okay, we're
So
trying
why
to
you
move
guys
past
talk to
this
him?
now. Why? Let's move past this, please.
Yes.
Okay? Obviously, that's
So
unproductive.
if I walked in there and got in his face and told him fuck off,
At this
you guys would
point-
just say, move past this?
At this
Tell me
point,
that.
we are.
If I went in there and got in his
Okay,
face,
dude, move back and relax,
did
please.
you tell him that when he was in my face? Do you move back and relax?
He did.
He did.
He did.
Just calm. Everyone
Actually,
calm.
That's why I
We
turned
all
around
did.
and walked out.
Matt, it's not worth it.
Yeah, please, man. Okay, guys. Do we have out of? It's time for us to move past this. I think.
It's not, has nothing to do with the, it has,
All right,
it's a
please,
technical issue, okay? It has to do with who files your tax return for this rebate. It's not you, it's Maria.
Yes.
It's automatic. She goes through the paperwork for any resident.
So you gotta submit one list of people that would pay on time.
Just to let you know, you're not gonna find a line in your tax return that says, I need this rebate. It's
Which
gonna
is-
be automatic.
It'll be on the property tax.
And
Okay.
Maria will make sure that your name is on the county lines.
Okay,
She's
guys.
gotta do that
Thank you.
before when? What's her deadline?
March
The
3rd,
deadline-
April 1st?
What the deadline in the legislation is September to allow for different fiscal years from the different subdivisions. And the finance committee is working at, finance department, how they're going to stage, getting reports from the subdivisions. We probably, since March 31st is our deadline for paying our dues, will make a report in April and submit that to the county.
So, is this gonna be effective for April of 26 or April?
It'll be on our
27?
2027 property tax.
27.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we're at the end of our road committee, I believe, discussion. Do we have any business, any motions that we would like to address at this time?
Yeah, you. Come on, side.
Excuse me?
You. Come on, side.
No.
No.
What?
No.
Are we in grade school?
No, but when you step to somebody, I don't know what you expect.
Yeah, well, we calmed it down as best we could.
I believe there was a motion to
Okay.
overturn the road fee increase.
Okay.
That's what we discussed in the road meeting.
Yeah, and it can only come from those people
Okay.
who voted for it. That's the way Robert's rule works. So,
Well,
is there a
yes.
motion? If not, I'm ready to move on. Okay.
What's the motion you're asking?
We're not. I'm not asking.
Oh, okay.
It was something that Hank was at, by the way.
For reopen discussion about the road.
Okay, then we're moving on to nominating committee. Do we have anything from nominating committee at this time?
I think Roy just asked for a motion to just reopen discussion.
Roy can't.
I can't.
Because he didn't
vote
vote for it, and it really made it really
somebody
easy.
who would vote, yeah. Yeah,
So that's why we've moved on.
That doesn't really make any sense.
That's Robert's rule, man. That's what we're governed by.
Well, Hank was a part of our road meeting.
He didn't
like,
ask for
on
it. He didn't make a
Wednesday,
motion.
And he did agree we should revisit it. Hank, are you
I-
holding on that?
I thought the point was moot because we've already voted on the budget for next year, and it doesn't show that we have a raise. Is Is there gonna be a raise?
There will at this point unless we vote it out.
How is that legal if you just proposed the budget for 2026?
Easy, he explained how he'd use it.
If we have extra money,
not
then
documented.
I will make a motion that we revisit the vote that we took on the amount.
Okay.
The amount, as I understood it, the amount was gonna be $20 raise.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you said a second? Okay. Then guys, I am revisiting this vote. I'll just open it up and I think we've discussed it to death. All right, I think those people are gonna decide what they decide already are and have in their minds. Board members, all of those in favor of increasing the road fees by $20, please so indicate.
That's
Can we-
not the
can we-
motion.
Oh, I thought that
Can
was.
we have discussion?
Oh, we've been discussing, but do you have more to discuss
Well,
on it?
Did you want?
just because we voting on raising them by the $20,
Mhm.
you know, and because I never get my chance for give my input
Okay.
before the vote, I just wanted to ask does it have to be $20? You know, can we just leave? Is there at any point in the future that we can raise the road fees that's not going to affect those that have a homeowner's exemption?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like if it starts at $215 now and we leave them at $215, if later on we like raise them, would the county
So far,
entertain
that is not part of the county's consideration.
okay, so that'll be at on set point at right now.
It could happen in the future if they find that we're trying to, in the same way that PayPal says, you know, you can't give them a cheaper price for not paying the fee or something like that. But at this time, the county does not have any intention
on
to,
raising the amount that they're allowing for the tax.
yeah.
Okay.
Joe.
A lot of the discussion that happened during this is if we increased it by 15%, it would be $247 and
50 cents.
change. Rather than making that leap of 15%, we came to the conclusion that if we just bump it up by $20 this year and then do another 15 next year, we would hit the max of 250, which would give Roy a whole lot more money to repair more roads. That was all the discussion was about. Now, if we leave it at 215, we're gonna get whatever Roy can get done on the roads. That was the entire discussion, and it went on for
It was the
like
majority of our.
45 minutes.
Okay, that,
Did you say this was law in effect till 2026 or did it?
2037.
2037.
37.
Okay, so there's that many years to benefit from this.
And it could get extended.
Could get extended.
Okay, board members, this is your moment to discuss those, so anything else before we call a vote?
Well, the $20 is a 9% increase. What if we do a 7% increase?
How much would that be?
Give me a second, I got the old calculator here.
I'm trying that out, yeah. 215.
Could be another $15, so $230 instead.
1505.
We don't do change like that, so we'll do 15.
Well, then I propose we do a 7% increase of $15.
And then follow it up and finish the max out the following year.
We don't have to consider that.
Today. All right, so there's one proposal. Patty, this is time for the board to discuss. We've been discussing, sorry Patty, we've been discussing this entirety for quite a while. I'm trying to let the board arrive now after hearing all the opinions, what would be their idea. Anybody else from the board?
That's not a question.
Why not just raise them by 10 if we have to raise them, you know what I mean? I don't feel that we have to raise them, but if we do have to raise them, we don't have to raise them at the 15% or even the 7%. I feel that if it's solely based on the fact that we will benefit from it through our property tax, then I don't see the need for it, but
So
if the board believes that we should increase them,
I don't see it as based on the property tax. I see it as we have cost increases every year, and it's been since 2021 since we did an increase, and we should do a small increase. Because if we wait a number of years and then all of a sudden we need to do $20, $25, $30 increase, happen, but if we do small increments,
So I know the $5 increase is something that everybody can bite, you know what I mean? Everybody can bite $5, but if you're on fixed, if you're on fixed income, $5 gonna make whether you're gonna eat this month or not.
It's like
You know,
46
and if you look
cents
at it, you know, the amount that we get from the food pantry slim to none, because there's a lot of people that cannot make it. So they're starving as it is now. You know what I mean? So the fact that, you know, we're gonna increase them by $20, it's hard. You know, it's hard. It's hard for the people that are on fixed income that trying to make ends meet, whether they're gonna have light. I'm gonna get the tax break, but I'm not gonna have light. I'm gonna get the tax break, but I'm gonna gas my generator for run my power. You know, it's things that I considering based on being there. I'm not telling you everybody that I'm there now, but at one point in time I was there. I was on a bare piece of land. I had to hand clear where I gotta live. Then I gotta put up on tarp, and hopefully that ain't no puka. And then I gotta pay $215 that, you know, I never liked what was happening at the time. I never liked what I saw out there on the road. Slurry seal instead of asphalt. That's why I got involved. You know, because I never liked what was going on. So anybody who know like what's going on, get involved. You know, put your name on the ballot, because 3 people coming up for vote next year. Be involved. You know, submit your bio for next year. You know, and that's the only way you can do them. And you know, I'm a make it happen kind of a guy. You know, so that being said, I don't feel that we should raise them as much, but you know, if we do them in increments, like small increments, yeah, $5 here, $5 there, $5 there. Then people can work at making that $5 to make the payment. Or if we as a community can come together, doing fundraisers somehow for help those that cannot afford to pay that, and we can help our neighbors by, you know, donating money at those fundraisers for help these people that cannot pay for them. Which is why in the past, myself and my wife, who runs the office, we offer full pay. Everybody who pay as a member, throw your name in the hat. We put one name. We gonna pay for them out of our own pockets, because we give it back to our community for what our community did for us all these years. And I kind of got laughed at about it, but I'm serious. That's my way of giving back to my community. If you guys become members, you guys pay this $35 over there. Number 1, you guys get to vote. Number 2, you guys get to use this facility anytime it's available, you know, for pretty much anything, you know, fundraisers or whatever, you know, farmers markets or whatever we want to do. And it also helps to fund a lot of the programs that happen within FACA. So for that fact, every 100 that pay, I'll pull one name out. I'll suck them out of my pocket, I pull them out there, throw them in there, bam. If we get 1,000 people, that means 10 names gonna come out. You know? And I will find a way to make the money so that I can put my money down and pay my community back for what they did for me.
Okay. Thank you, Roy. And Roy is very generous, guys. He's always been, and we're grateful for his service. You know, guys, the $20. You look at the $20 increase, and you look at the last time it went up in 2021. That works out to $4 a year is what the increase would be, and yet we're now playing a hint of catch up to try to enjoy. We've got the moment where the county is kicking money back to us. That's really what it works out to. They finally agreed to invest in our roads. We're trying to. That's what this is all about. Is getting the county money on our roads. Joe, you had something you wanted to say.
2 things. One thing that has happened this year is Social Security is getting a 2.5 increase, which for most people is going to be around between 55 and 60 bucks more. And I would like to table this vote until January and have Roy come up with the percentage that the cost of paving has gone up over the past few years. If we increase it by that, then we are meeting the increase in the cost.
$20,000 increase between last year and this year, off the top of my head.
Okay.
and we have to settle it today because we send out bills in January.
Yeah, that's why we're where we're at.
Because as soon as we vote on them, then tomorrow the printing press start happening for invoices and get them out there. You know what I mean?
Okay, guys, I think we're at a point. I'm looking for a motion of any kind at this point.
I'll make a motion that we only raise them by $5 if we gotta raise them. If we have to raise it, $5. Anybody else willing to jump in with me?
So it is going up $5 instead of 20. All right, guys, let's move on here. I think we're halfway done with our meeting now. Okay, policy committee.
Policy committee did not need to meet. We finished the internal audit policy, so we move on to the audit committee. Did we report on that already?
Yes.
Okay, so we're fine. And we have an assignment to bring the bylaws information pertaining to financial transactions to the January meeting.
Yep. Okay, yes, so we will have a policy committee meeting.
We don't need to meet, all we need to do is gather that information so we can be informed
At the January
at the
meeting.
January meeting.
Okay, fire department.
We had the big brush fire up on Monroe Road that we were not allowed to be a part of because we're not four-wheel drive. So, all the other volunteer units around were involved in it. 2,400 acres, I believe, was the total what it ended up at, and it's currently 100% contained, still hot spots. I believe we are currently fully staffed, and we have a waiting list. We have one on the wait list, which is first time ever, I think, in the history of our Fern acres, which is pretty awesome. That's about it.
Okay, neighborhood watch.
Hibiscus arrest last week. Officer Cardenas and patrol officers were responding to a stolen vehicle that pinged on Hibiscus. While they were looking for this vehicle, they observed a male party take off down the driveway, stop at the car, grab an item, and run into the jungle. He was chased down, and they found the guy hiding in someone else's home. He was arrested on outstanding warrants, and the package contained a very large quantity of meth. The car that he got was not the one that was stolen, but it was a stolen car, so that was gotten back to the owner, I guess. And HPD has suggested that if you see anybody hanging around with criminals, to discourage it. They're discouraging people from obviously having criminal friends. But if you see any vehicles driving around or know any possible locations where people might be staying, please let the non-emergent line know. And there is no neighborhood watch meeting this month. Instead, there will be Coffee with a Cop, which is next Saturday, the 22nd, from 9 to 11 here in the conference room.
Alrighty. And next is CERT.
There was no CERT meeting this month because many of us were marching in the Veterans Day Parade. We will have a holiday gathering in December and resume training in January.
Awesome. Hub?
Hub, same difference. We have been so busy with the food distribution that no progress has gone forward on the hub physical property, and the rain is not helping, but we are just managing to get the feed out and get people fed this month. So that's what we're doing. A lot of those volunteers are Joe's volunteers for Food Basket, and so many community people coming in to help feed.
And the next 2 days, whatever was left, we drove around the community and gave them away.
Thank you.
Throughout the community. So that's a couple more bags in there.
Okay. And I set some time aside, well, I guess before I move over.
Just a question for the food distribution. Since the SNAP government shutdown is over, SNAP been refunded, is there going to be more distribution?
I can answer that. Vibrant Hawaii set it up for 3 Wednesdays.
It's still gonna happen.
This next Wednesday, we will have the last of the Aloha in action, and just to let everybody know, none of this was federally funded. It was all donations from here on the island and the mainland. We handed out 125.
Yeah.
The
bags
first one,
last,
yeah.
well, no, the first one we did 144 because the
Yeah.
guy gave us extra. We did 125 last Wednesday, we're doing another 125 this week, Wednesday. And the following day, on Thursday, is our monthly pantry. So that will be 4 times that we have handed out food to the community right down here in Mahalo. So,
In less
Okay.
than 3 weeks.
Awesome. Any other questions for the hub? Okay, Layla, I've got you down for contact list.
Yes, I sent out a proposal in September. I apologize for not being able to come to the board meeting that month, but I'd say basically an organizational plan, part of the CERT team as well, and we know that communication is our sore point, especially with elder kapuna and people who may have medical needs. And so right now I've created an online Google form to have people enter their emails and phone numbers if they want to, their addresses, if they want to, their emergency needs. And we also need people to volunteer to be kuleana keepers, or, you know, for a different word than block captains, so people who will lead and contact their small group of people in their part of the neighborhood. So I have that as a sign up. We've already had a few people who are interested in being in those roles, and I would like to have the board's support to have a sign-up sheet at our events here. We can talk about it in the newsletter. We can have a sign-up in the office, and actually canvas people as well. You know, the Coconut Wireless is the best way we can communicate. So, go ahead, Patty.
I think we should put a flyer in the food banks.
Okay, that's a great idea. If we want, if I can get something designed, I did get $100 credit or grant from Vibrant. I can put something together to put in the food bags Wednesday, Thursday. If you guys are aligned with that.
well, we can't do it Wednesday because that's Vibrant Hawaii.
Okay, so
But
for
Thursday, we can.
Thursday,
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get the flyers
If
to
you
me,
can
I'll make
get it
sure you
to
get
us-
them in the bags.
Yeah,
Okay.
or by 7:30 or so that morning will be good.
Can we print them in the
Okay,
office?
I'll bring them on Wednesday to put them in Thursday just in case I don't get
Perfect,
time.
perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ben?
We can print them in the office.
Okay, thank you. Print them in.
Have we answered Layla's question about how to get the camera and?
It's on the agenda.
Oh, it's not up yet, okay.
You know what? We can do that right now because it's a hard one to know where to fit it in here.
Yeah,
I mean, I have it under a different spot, but go ahead.
I know it was approved. I just need to know what the process is. Do you guys want me to purchase it and I get reimbursed?
Yeah.
You know, I could.
That'll be your best bet.
Okay, fine. I can do that.
You
I just
guys,
nobody
you guys
told me
buy
that,
them.
so
You
I
guys
just
buy them.
know.
Present the receipt to the office because it's already board approved.
And you know your amount that you were approved for, Leila? I think it was $349. I think that's $329.
was 300.
Yeah, whatever it was, that one
Whatever it
camera
was.
at 300
I have to go back
something.
and find it. I don't know that I have it.
And I thought you found one.
Whatever it is, buy them. I'll fork the
I gave a
difference out of my
range.
pocket. No big deal.
I gave a range, and I could revisit it. There was a coupon on Amazon at the time. I don't know if that's still valid. I haven't looked back at the.
Yeah, don't worry, just buy them.
Yeah. And Black
Present the receipt to the office, whatever the board didn't approve, anything over that, I'll fork that.
Oh, okay, that's a great idea. Okay, so I will make sure, now that I know it's, I mean, I knew it was approved, I just didn't know the process of getting it and setting it up and having a training or whatever we need.
Okay.
I have a question for Layla.
Yes.
On this information, information that you're collecting, would they have phone numbers, addresses, and names?
Yes.
Who will have privy to that information? Will it be broadcast out to anybody, or will you have the information?
Right now, only I have access to it. What I put in my proposal to you guys was that the board would have access to it and the CERT team would have access to it in case of an emergency. And so I have it as a separate fernacrescommunity@gmail.com, the one I've been emailing you guys from. I really honor privacy. I definitely don't want to put anybody's information in the wrong hands. You know, I'm a communications professional, so I really get that, and I would be happy to go by whatever the board would like to do.
That's answered my question.
Thank
you, Ben.
Thank you. I have a concern about this camera. It's still requiring somebody to use their personal phone or computer, and I think that's why we can't get support so easily. What I'm trying to find with this camera is it's some form of conference style device that anybody can just push and it starts streaming, and I'm asking for help for anybody who might have an idea of what device this might be, that anyone on this board can walk in and push a button and my phone or Layla's phone doesn't have to be here. And I think it has to run on the Wi-Fi provided by the location and would stream to a device, probably needs to have a Zoom account, but I don't think it's going to keep working unless like Layla or I are here. And if it was easy, it would already be done. So I'm trying to find like some answer on the conference style camera audio system.
Well, I mean, there are devices out there and they start getting really expensive when it's an all-in-one and it does it. Things like the Owl out there is pretty good like that. But we're talking $1,500 up.
Try to find something cheaper from an Owl example, thank you.
Yes, so we can have a camera, but we have to get it to Zoom, so,
Somehow
that setup is all we need.
A Zoom setup and a camera. Yeah, which I did share with you all the costs of what Zoom is, and then that would ideally require having the Zoom meetings in a Google Workspace, which is also free for 501c3s.
Yeah, you can get Zoom for
So
free.
that does require a good amount of work on my part to help you guys set that up, and I would need like an EIN number and that kind of stuff. So I have to work with somebody on the board to get that all set up properly.
You're right, four.
But yeah, either one I think I would have to look into the Google Workspace specifics, but
Okay.
it should be.
Joe?
Yeah, go ahead.
To answer your question, we sat here, we talked about this, and Layla kindly volunteered to find all of the information, what we're gonna do. So we're waiting for that final, here's what we're doing. That's why we need the camera and get everything in line, and then we go from there.
Cool. So
Because
I
I'm
needed
not,
that to be clear of like who was purchasing. I just didn't know the camera. I knew it was approved. I needed to know what the process. So if you guys are
Right.
relying, I mean, I have sent information,
Right.
you know, and I get the technological, you know,
and like you
barriers.
said, there's gonna have to be some training for somebody in here on how we operate it.
Absolutely.
That's all we're waiting for.
Okay.
Once we have the camera and we have how we're going to do it, then somebody in here is gonna have to be trained on how to start it up.
Okay.
And just to be clear, that budget provided was for a camera addition to a laptop. And that's where I'm just trying to make sure everybody knows, we're trying to figure out how to make it simpler and easier.
And that's why we handed it to you.
Great. Just making sure.
I'm not tech savvy, I'm not.
Yeah.
But if
I'm
somebody
not.
trains me on push this button and
That's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Thank you very much for that update. And food pantry.
Pantry doesn't happen until next Thursday, but as I said earlier, we've had Vibrant Hawaii and Aloha in action 2 Wednesdays. This next Wednesday is the last one that we're going to do, and then the pantry the following day.
Did we ever find out why our numbers are, why their delivery numbers are down?
A lot of what happened was due to EBT and SNAP. They haven't been getting a lot of food in the warehouse. We are getting whatever they give us.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. All right. Anything else, Joe? No. Okay. I know it's early, so probably you can skip right over annual picnic.
You can.
Let's do that. And then I think we've probably covered all your topics, but resident committee, if you would like another minute.
Let me go to the top of this very long list. We did the road fees, emergency plan. Yeah, no, that was everything I had.
Okay.
We have 33 comments. We talked about not acknowledging comments during this meeting, but just a lot of people supporting how they feel the communication is what they're kind of just worked up about, and so we talked about that and just how to work on the bettering of communication.
Okay. At this point, we're at members' reports. This is a moment where you can bring up anything that is on your mind we might have missed. I'll start over here with you, Hank.
I think we've covered everything.
Okay. Christy?
I have nothing.
Okay. Roy?
Compost pile at work in the back. Anybody who get clean green waste that they like drop off. As long as the office is open, the gate is open, stop at the office so that we can inspect what you have before you dump them in the back there. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to be bringing in a chipper to start chipping up some of that stuff. And after 3 weeks after that, I think the compost can be ready for rollout with anybody who will be for purchase for $4.
Roy, is cane grass clean?
It will be after I'm done with it.
So it's okay to bring cane grass?
Yep.
What about other things like, papaya seeds, things
Bring
that
'em.
would?
Himalayan blackberry.
Cause the process that I do for doing this compost, nothing gonna grow in them as long as I keep turning them.
Okay.
And by the time it's done, good, clean, fresh, organic compost that everybody can use in their gardens at home.
Good, good.
Okay, Patty wants to go.
I'm working with Big Island Invasive Species Committee. They're going to give us a workshop on eradication of Himalayan raspberry. And it will be in January on a Wednesday during the day when the road crew can participate, but we will advertise it. It will be open to the whole Fern Acres community.
Yay.
And the date will be announced later?
Yes.
Okay, Joe. Okay, I think that's everybody. All right. Whew, awesome. Okay, guys, we have one piece of business left.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second. All in favor? All right, guys, thank you.
Oh.
So what?
Yeah, do that right now. Hey, congrats on all your